Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyị bịara ikele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyị bịara ịja gị mma. Anyabịa Chineke nna, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa n'ikele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyị bịara ịja gị mma. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyị bịara ịja gị mma. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyị bịara ikele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyị bịara ikele gị. Anyị buru mkpa wee bịa, anyị ga-eji ọṅụ wee laa. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyị bịara ka na-agwọ ọrịa, anyị bịara ikele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa n'ọgaranya n'onwe ya, anyabịa n'ikele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Ọdịmma na-eme mma, anyị bịa n'ịja gị mma. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Chukwu Chekina glory, Chukwu bụ onye na-eme mma. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Ịma bụ onye na-eme mma, ịma bụ onye na-agwọ ọrịa. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Ọdịmma na-eme mma, ịma na-emere m mma. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Ịma bụ onye na-eme mma, ịma bụ onye na-enye udo. Anyabịa Chineke nna, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyabịa n'ikele gị. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Ọdịmma odogwu akata aka, ịma bụ ike nkwaba mba. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Odogwu akata aka, odogwu aka na-aga. Anyabịa Chineke nna, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Ịma bụ Chukwu na-eme mma, ịma bụ Chukwu na-enye udo. Anyabịa Chineke nna, anyabịa n'ekele gị. Anyị buru mkpa wee bịa, anyị ga-eji ọṅụ wee laa. Anyabịa Chineke nna m, anyabịa n'ekele ya. Ọ na-abịa n'ebube, ọ na-abịa n'ike n'ebube. Anya dị nsọ ga-ahụ ya, ma ọ ga-abịa n'ebube. Ụmụ eluigwe ga-aṅụrị, ma ọ ga-abịa n'ebube. Chi anyị ga-abịa, ma ọ ga-abịa n'ebube. Chi anyị ga-abịa, ma ọ ga-abịa n'ike n'ebube. Anya dị nsọ ga-ahụ ya, mgbe ọ ga-abịa n'ebube. Umeligwe ga-anọrị ọ ga-abịa n'ebube chi anyị na-abịa ọ ga-abịa n'ebube chi anyị na-abịa ma ọ ga-abịa n'ike n'ebube anya dị nsọ ga-ahụ ya ma ọ ga-abịa n'ebube ụmụ eluigwe ga-anọrị ma ọ ga-abịa n'ebube chi anyị ga-abịa n'ebube ma ọ ga-abịa n'ike n'ebube anya dị nsọ ga-ahụ ya ma ọ ga-abịa n'ebubele ụmụ eluigwe ga-anọrị ma ọ ga-abịa n'ebube Igbo bụ Igbo ụtụtụ ọma ehihie ọma mgbede ọma depending your time zone anyị ya dịka echi maka na echi adịghị agwụ agwụ ka anyị na-agwa ya ọ bụrụ na isi what are you waiting for? Click the like button, subscribe, comment, share. If I ain't able to keep us the way you do it. If you are just coming across our channel for the very first time, you are welcome. This is Kelena TV. We are live and we are direct, bringing you the gospel of redemption by your doorstep. Define and make common sense. The reason I'm running a marifa. The way for Karang, Marifa, Karang, that's good. Mano Makifi, nature of Kaiji Wells. I just want to make common sense as always. Over smile on the man. Over smile on the man. Over smile on the man. Over swallow on G. Ụbọchị tukwa na-arụ ụbọchị tukwa na-arụ oyi ụbọchị ama ncha ụgbọ anyị n'ọkụ amaka mere we are back again live and direct anyị ama mgbe oge maka na anyị nwere limited time so anyị ga-agbapụ ya ọsọ adịrị azụ okwu abụrụ aja ọ bụrụ na isonyere USB declare ọ nga nwajiri onwe gị I am a content creator, political analyst, a preacher of the gospel of redemption. Then I need my anointing to preach this gospel like never before. So that what we do here, so that it will make sense to us all. Only anointed before the enemy or into it. So support you has been declared. If not for anything, it has not declared. So support you has been declared. Even whatever your ID, kindly do that. And when upcoming event that is coming, it is called Biafra Heroes Day. USB declared about the enemy organized. And when link where you can actually reserve seats every Ghana over here. So go to Dr. S handle. So yeah, follow the link and reserve your own seats. Very, very, very important. I tell you. I want to find a whoever by international politics. You know, before with the middle of far back on a weapon. Can they find the key again? Here can you see Gaga for the focus. The next thing they want to freedom fight about again with targets. The bubble in it, we are formidable. Wake up. Wake up. You must be strategic. You must have plans. Before get made far. Before get results. Like an every action. Reaction is expected. Waka, waka. Imagine if I ain't ever with someone. You're not the other. It's yoku. And like we said, depopulating their population is a task that is ongoing. On our easy task. Huge one for that matter. Heavenly immigration border control is on. God is presiding. Oh, you will niaka. We don't run propaganda. If I never caught him, on your road, my toya, on your road, I have an evening road, Manero Tire. One night, I got interview on the Raka complete. And we are saying here, no, what reform in the name of Umwe outside the US very declared that it will make sense. Very simple. The only thing make sense when you the US very declared. The only thing whether I support by US declared is because of envy, jealousy, and hatred. Not because they have actually done you any wrong. No. And because of hate, envy, and jealousy. So on your child guy that we should go home, do our homework very well. Your ability to implement that you have learned or that you have been told, which is the truth, your ability to implement it in your gosiri name ife. But your inability it in your gosiri name ife. So these guys that this man have advised, their inability to implement that they were told gosiri na family ife, that they are wicked. Abang no yan no makamele benchika no yan na makamele yina duru no yan no makamele easy way no makamele ibe no yan no makamele chi de bere no yan na. They are very empty. Man, not be empty. So that was your ID. If I see your one, I better not that was your ID. On your top of that, which you got to do our homework. It can't go to line. If body language, one night were a distraction. Body language have a distraction to me because there was a quality that I was expecting, especially, or in fact, within the acquisition of family, so you were all the phone, where I can have, not just for because if I got a good name who would want, I was can be an represent to time good, no, uzi, no, picture, no. If I got bigger, bro, if I forgot name of more any days, guy for people would do anyhow, people. So far, was there whatever I can in a cave, that is by Japacos, not Jafia. Kafawiki, what that. And what if I is the only child if I actually, if I ain't what actually no, when your child go here, what we move.
You ever heard the word Biafra? They would not one of them would raise their hand. Not one, maybe one out of 1,000. Okay, so I'm trying to bring some realization to the movement that yes, you've done well. You have a movement. You have an organization. It's global. But that's just the starting point. Don't break up and fragment and fight amongst yourselves yet. Latch on to that vision and then ride the wind. Self-determination, freedom, human rights. That's your path to get to that mountaintop. And you will have allies around Nigeria and around the world that will help you achieve that if you can harness that. That's where I'm coming from. So no, don't put words in my mouth.
Okay. Hey, look at Edman Nakwaka. The man was telling them, don't put words into my mouth. Nana they did on a caution the lady, don't put words into my mouth. Edman Edman is clapping. Ever his colleague. Then he rose to his colleague. Eggman and Kwaka. Don't put words into my mouth for that. What? Imagine. Child, she when I said that against the book that there. Where you from? Where you from? Don't put words into my mouth for that. What? Child, child.
Mr. Mike, are we ready to delve a little bit deeper about this?
Wait, you. Oh, me to brought. Oh, find you, Messi. Oh, me to find you, Messi. Tell them for this lady. Tell them for this lady. They watch her now very closely. Oh, me to the anya, Messi. Oh, find for the Mike. Maybe after come out, but I don't put words into my mouth. Any man I go after. Or is you fly and any Mike? Mike, can we now dive into this discussion? Tell them for this lady from UK. Get up. Get up. Try. Get up. What is that her name? Nkiru. Wankwe. Nkiru. Ozugbo the man na watch don't put words into my mouth. Any man na go after. Nkiru emechizi okwu anya. Ode na ekiri ya. Tinka. Look at him to find you, Messi. Ndị a kwesịrị ka etinye aka ntị aka na-aba aka na-abụ.
Constitution of a thing.
Well, I'm open to any question you want to ask.
Hey.
Yes.
So what?
Okay. You know,
Wait, you what friend can give you your phone?
people that are
Okay.
disturbing Nigeria will not allow that change of constitution to happen. And that
This if I have the worst I need to no seriousness, no composure, nothing. That is what is so loose. There is no seriousness. The man even more relaxed. Why, man? What if I am born now? When I'm gonna get it, what if I am born now? Okotorobo. Umerona born now, Okotorobo. Like this child, if you are not careful, on those no, Okotorobo. Abandon Mary. Imagine,
is one of the problems that the Nigerians are having for them to have a free and fair election. So that is their number one problem. See?
Yep.
And I also know that you believe that there's no freedom that is free. You need to grab your own freedom.
Okay, young one, no, we are going to put grabbing. Omarena na grab ya. Official channel o ga siga grab ya freedom. O me ya abandon wa. Official ebo ga no ga grab ya na USB declare. Or wa. These are shameless people not around this very struggle. Today, Oko Friday with APM. Tomorrow, Oko Friday with Crc Bgc. Next one, Oko Friday with Obi. Obi, I'm not going to know.
You see. All right. So we agree with that. We and you are good. Then I would also like to talk a little bit about our government. Yes.
Can the government in Kenya or Crc Bgc or USB declared?
Well, as you can see, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay, government you have a leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We must make it go viral, like crazy. Anybody that will come to talk anything outside the USB declare, down on the fact, without their program, anybody of us, outside the USB declare, they will say, that is it. I am on social media. I am on our government. Good man, now they can only government. Who go on the river? Not the cable. Mazen now they can only government. Government have DOS. DOS are poor now, but I found one question. No, you do an idea, go no compromise. Yeah. Chai. One question. Never will be a court.
Is in Sokoto. And then we have, before he, in 2021, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister actually
No coordination or any at least what you want a lawyer. Now, I am now questioning her lawyer background. I am now questioning her certificate. So as a lawyer, get through her question, like rehearsal. She rehearsed the questions, open up 5 questions. Conwell will throw that 5 questions one after another. After that, was waiting. Why is she like Utinyaka? Nobody Utinyaka. She want to begin to explain. It's only my broadcast. Nkiri the Raga complete. Nkiri the Raga complete, and the worst part of it when I was a barrister and a freedom fighter. Freedom fighter about. It's a freedom fighter. You can do better. Stand with the truth. You can do better. If for energy, I need you eziokwu a. Ịdị afọ anointing, ịdị afọ ebube, enwere na eziokwu anyị na-ekwu. Ihe anyị na-ekwu bụ eziokwu. We are not economizing the truth. We say it the way it is. You can do better. You are the one diminishing your light. An opportunity, ị gara eji wee jee child. But you are in a wrong place at the right time. And it is not good. An opportunity. You get it that time. Man, you are in a wrong place at the right time. Opening on a USB to declare money in a Wezioko. We're going to work out. I can get a work out the chikinchi. What is happening? You can do better. Every star. Is this all you can offer?
joined this struggle, I think, around 2019.
And
then he was broadcasting, and then our leader told us to follow Simon.
No question yet.
That he has a new dimension.
He is bringing, he is bringing new dimension to this very awareness he is making. And here we have USB clear, which is the birth of that new dimension. The word, the man flesh. The word of man now they cannot the reality, the confirmation. The word, the made flesh, the confirmation of that word that listen to him share his broadcast. Very, very important. He is bringing new dimension to this very awareness we are making. On a new dimension, don't eat. And they tell no, they could not even do this in a new dimension. But the new dimension is before you because of envy and jealousy. You will look the other way. Hello. What is happening to us? We don't know what freedom is all about. Why are we joking with an opportunity? One day of the truth, we are equal to the task. An opportunity that we are able and capable, we are fit, we can actually think right. Because so that all of us as monkeys, no food, no female from Africa. An opportunity to talk to them. That we actually have something. Why am I never? Hi. No. It is crazy. Martin, no, you go. No. Okay. Maybe because I never studio for some time now. I come out for Madam Orison. Madam Studio. If I never be the play the show, the reason he go to USB declared no propaganda. I ain't got the propaganda. To do the propaganda, I can do. Why are you running this propaganda? If I ain't get every propagandist, I cannot do. I ain't got to I can come and display. No more propaganda anywhere. Can you propaganda get it? You go 247 after that. Come in. I have for you. Onyame, the chief again, many of them have to go and everything are one. What is any propaganda that we sell? Our job now is to push and to propagate. Nothing outside the USB declared. You are on your own, wasting your time. That is the mind over there. Why are the Raka complete?
That he is going to use to help us to get what we want. Yes. And that new dimension, I believe that you are familiar with it.
He cannot. He is not familiar with it. Why? How can he be familiar with new dimension? Imagine. So you are not familiar with new dimension. That your own instructed you. He instructed you to listen to Simon and share his program. That he is bringing new dimension. You are not familiar with that new dimension. Oh, you are familiar with the new dimension. Imagine the weather is now somehow from my location.
Yes. That new dimension is getting, since there is no constitution or self-referendum option in the Nigerian constitution. But there are some of these under international law. There is something that we call the Montevideo Convention.
I feel like screaming. Why am a lawyer? She cannot be a lawyer. Why no one ever the question head? So yeah, man, there was a discussion. At least there is man now so that it will not look over something happened before the thing happened. And you know, you get the deeper Eggman. But that guy has the child beach. You know, people will be expecting us to fall hard. But there is no need to forever, not 3 hours. When you see, not 20 minutes. May I bring something? The Kai question I got one so that Kai Gidia na 5 question. Let it not exceed over 30 minutes or 1 hour. Let just hold. The reason why the General limited is because they are in error. Like USB declared. Now, what do they question? They are in error. They cannot discuss because they are very, very mindful of making or that they are very mindful. If what offer USB declared. Very mindful. What you know Fulani? I didn't go to Fulani. Obi will go on and for rich. That was the real practice. We are going to ask him 5 questions and we will end it at that. And with what I have seen, nothing like that. There was no discussion, nothing. Considering a lawyer. Thinker.
Convention rights. I don't know if you know about it, Mr. Mike. And that is the self-determination under international law. That is what.
On a go to Montevideo Convention. On a go to OG document. On a go to your preliminary declaration. On a go to near Niti Wawaya. Why would you go to Montevideo Convention? Did you go to go to there? On a document, on a map, OG declaration document. On what you forge. Did you go to quote? This is their problem. Can you forge?
This struggle has been following since 2020, late 2022. Simon Ekpa. formed a government. The government is Biafran Republic government in exile. That are quarreling now. Since he was
government in exile. The man there, the egg man, asked him, or the Finland. Now 2024. Can you vote the Finland, the government? Journalism man, ID. This is their problem. They can never make any sense.
2024. Everybody's quarreling. You see? Good. So I think
okay. Can I come in very quickly?
Okay. Go ahead.
Mike, okay. Yeah, that's the foundation my deputy have laid, and I don't know if you're aware of that. And it's good if we can say a few things about that, but that is not the main thing that I want us to talk about. And I love the fact that you talked about the importance of this awareness, so that people will understand the importance of self-determination, because it's not everybody that is now aware of this Biafra. And that's where our relationship with you is need to get.
Also, everybody is not aware of Biafra. Also, everybody is not aware of it. But the man told them, "You are Washington DC governor. You could have Biafra, and this one is here telling you not everyone is aware of Biafra." Hey!
And that's why it is going to be very important for Biafrans to understand your point of view, which I understand very well, which I know Mazin Namdekano understands very well, and he gave you that appraisal by telling you that if there are more people like you, we wouldn't have been where we are today. When Mazin Namdekano really acknowledged you and was very grateful, you are now speaking up. Now, I want you to tell us how you will be able to
from the Ocha for the Akuka. The Ocha kwesịrị ngịnị ya nọdụ ọ bụrụ shoulder to shoulder. Ngịnị ya nọdụ ọ bụrụ shoulder to shoulder. Because o nwere capacity afụtaba ndị isi ojii. Mana mgbe ọ bụla i bidoro na-afụtapa more superior. Fa wepụrụ anaghị anya kwa ọrụ. Ị ga-eshi oriri n'Igbo nwere ife na ha. Ị ga-eshi oriri n'Igbo nwere ife before ofe n'ebe dị anya.
Carry this message on our behalf, and you are sensitizing for us at this level, and we love it. So how can we make more impact?
He is sensitizing. Lawyer, I don't think I remember him. Ever have the reason of
impact, so that we'll be able to reach more Americans, because the more Americans, the more Europeans, the more of these international communities will reach with this particular self-determination that we are seeking for, because it is our right to seek for it. And just like you're saying, we must have to seek it the right way, because if we just jump in on people that do not know anything about Biafra and say Biafra, Biafra, it would be like we're just speaking parables to them. They will not understand. So
speaking in tongues, basically.
Speaking in
That's
tongues.
a great question, and I think a lot about the. There's an education.
Why are the complete? Why are the complete? Other complete.
That must take place. I remember one time there was something I was very passionate about.
Imagine. Why are the woman? That is not in that is into it. Negative before not channel. I have to put them over in there.
And I had started here just casual, and over time I became very passionate. And I remember I met a guy, and he was so excited about something that was way back here. I had left that. I had grown way beyond it. And my initial reaction, I was going to just tell the guy, you don't know what you're talking about. But you know what? That's great. You're awesome.
Lawyer that he may not interview. At least always one area fine. But where buying on air buying. What do you get in the next 2-3 years?
Keep it up. I recognized that it's a long bridge from where he was to where I was. And he was taking a step in the right direction. And it would have been wrong for me to diminish that and encourage them. I just, trust it to God, let them cross that bridge. There's a bridge to get people to understand not only understand what Biafra is, what it means, what it stands for, but then the historical context of it and why self-determination is important. That's a long bridge. Most in your movement don't understand that because they've been steeped in it. They've grown up in it. It's their culture.
Why did I want Jambori? Why did I Jambori? The rules are more way to lose as the lawyer. I don't know about it. She came for Jambori.
And all that. So they can talk over here, let's get to the end. But if you're talking to someone that's over here, they can't jump. You have to take those steps. And most of the world is over here, and you want to get them over here. Is this making sense? And so it hurts my heart when I'll post a picture of my dog or my granddaughter, and 20 people jump in instantly and just say, we need Biafra, Biafra, Biafra.
Imagine. To them, if I have awareness, opposed to a picture that has nothing to do with Biafra. Comment section, and I say Biafra. To them, Hannah create awareness. To them, they are disturbing in the orchard. This huge deal.
I love you guys, and I appreciate your passion, but it's a nonsense word to most people on earth. Okay, you're being lazy. You have to be strategic.
You have to be strategic. That strategic. We feel because we need for a declaration. Strategic. Now, before the declaration, then we need for online and the offline referendum. You have to be strategic. You need ID. You have to be strategic. Make the declaration to generate documents for this political approach. For this political approach, you have to be strategic. In USD declare strategic. They have nothing, absolutely nothing to convince anybody with. Yeah? You have to be strategic. Onocha is now telling you the need for you to be strategic. Oh, Jesus did not die for me. Just Bechiano. Mbana Biafra and the Bongo. Oh, no chance, Mamu Yoko. Oh, no chance, Yoko. Oh, my God, Jesus. When it comes to Sunday, many of them hate the injustice. You have to be strategic. Strategic. Oh, when you approved us, 100 men are intact. We are formidable, waiting for our spring leader. We have hired lawyer for Mazeb and Joko. You have to be strategic. Being strategic is beyond equestrian and social media. Yeah? This is if a daughter to every daughter before payment for one and they are formidable. A month and boom, boom, gang, gang. When the urban ball is on, I wipe the village out. You begin to complain. Oh, look at us here. We are here. In order to win the you have to be strategic. Because the man have understand that these guys that they are so empty. He will begin to tell them the need for unity. Oh, your agitation, okay, globally. But you have to be strategic. More no need to grow gangsters. The need for them to be strategic because he know that they don't have it. He know that they are not serious.
And educate people.
Brother Mike, in a minute. I don't know how much you know about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to tell us a little bit more of that because the history you gave about Biafra.
Someone gonna akowa. The man and I drew fast. The man gonna akowa Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Hey,
on the space, it actually blew my mind. Where you talked about the history, you even spoke about Aburi Accord. You know, that actually kept me dumbfounded. I said, you know about all this. So now, I don't know what you know about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know if you are aware that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been on this subject. No.
Why you have to be strategic. I think the simplest way to do, can you please advise us? Like, now, in this strategy, maybe that is what we need to like to push. Can this our message be acceptable or they accepted? Or happen here and they go explain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to us. Hey, on your China, you have to be strategic. Or not be strategic. Now, explain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to us. How much are you explain freedom of it?
Officially since 2012. I personally started following him 2015 to date. So since 2012, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been running what we call Radio Biafra. And if you go back,
follow us on TikTok with this
messages, my brother, you will be
please
at the knowledge Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have put into so many of us. So, and while all those were going on, our people, each time they come out,
it is not about having knowledge. If you may have knowledge without being strategic, knowledge. Even with the knowledge, you have to be strategic. That alone will show you the knowledge again. When you have knowledge, you are not strategic. Without your knowledge, you will be stagnant. And that is what the man is saying. You have a massive movement with global support. Is it global support or with international awareness? But you have to be strategic.
To protest in Nigeria, they hack them down, they kill them, they extrajudicially murder them, of which I'm sure you must be aware. If you see pictures and videos that come out from Biafra land, you will wonder. And now, with all the things going on with the election going on in Nigeria today, do you know that Peter Obi is also suffering because he's a Biafran? Yep. A lot of things are going on. So just give us a little bit of what you know about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you know, if you don't know, maybe we will try to bring you up to date with that. Because if you look at the comments on the screen now, these are the kind of comments you'll be seeing from Biafrans. Somebody is saying urgent division is important because Britain and Nigerian government infiltrated all the 36 states of Nigeria so that Boko Haram can leave no Dangote and Boss refinery in Akwa Ibom. No Nigeria. So you can see the kind of, these are people that are inundated with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's gospel. Yeah. So tell us what you know about him, and then from there we can begin to go on with the conversation.
Okay, and let me say, I like the comment. I'm not disagreeing at all. I'm not saying it's not urgent. I'm not saying it's not the solution. I'm saying, how do you get there from here? Okay, just saying it's urgent, just complaining, just begging people will get you to nothing.
Now, even the girl that you put Eggman, the barrister is laughing Eggman. Hey, the child that this girl I'm going to I think this girl going to they need that to disgrace you with the barrister at church. All at Eggman, thinker. Or do you even marry that for Akandia? I am telling you. What do you marry that for? How do we get there? Very simple question.
It never has gotten you anything, and it never will. because people don't give power away.
People do not give power away. If you them, oh, come here, they are here, they are killing us here. Nobody is going to give you power. People do not give power away. You are free to cry. Oh, I need the onion is here. I want the is here. I want the onion. America come and help us. And the child with you are just helpless. Tomorrow, they can't have the family. But we are still waiting for them. The girl in our church, the girl in our church, how do we get there? Why in our church? So now,
people don't give. The government's not going to. You can demand a referendum all day long. They're not going to give it to you.
They are not going to give it to you. Oh, idiots! Your ability to implement that which is the truth in Ogoro. Be familiarly a human brain. Your ability to implement this truth, but your inability to implement it. What is wrong with us? Other time have just flogged them. Government, they want nothing. The other time was referred, they don't even watch. It is crazy. The other don't reason like some of us. Other time will be like, is this who won the cruise? The man just disgraced them. You are not strategic. Get your strategy. If I could read in the now, how far we have come and how far we are ready to head to make sure that with the final talk. It is taken. That is why I am still talking about Obi. Obi can run around political party for all we care. Power is taken, not given. You can run from here to 100 years. One neck, only the mean and brutal. You complain, you can never make any sense outside the USB declared. That is the truth. Outside the USB declared, you have no message. Every messenger has a message. What is your message? Getting your strategy. In USB declared, every messenger of USB declared has a message that we have declared. We have documents. We are reaching ID. We want recognition. Get this recognition. We will continue to push. We take what we have. We take what we have and take what we want. Power is taken, not given. On them to notify them. Before the convention in Finland, he went and notified Finnish Prime Minister. Notify. The man is telling you that power is not given. It cannot. Oh, US come here. We are the same Jew. We are Jews of Africa. He can never be a Jew of Africa. We are Jew of Africa. We are mixed Israelites from Africa. Come and help us. Nah. This is what about our analysis. I never heard until them were 2 hours. He told me, that's really good. So, we are the Jews of Africa. Like rubbish. Come and help us here. Yeah?
The UN's not going to give it to you. Donald Trump's not going to give it.
Nobody will give it to you.
You got to take it. Now, you have to, if you look at how Donald Trump operates, and I'm not calling for an armed insurrection.
I love that part where you say we have to take it. So please, expatiate on how we are going to take it.
If you look at how Donald Trump operates.
On our before. Yes, we are back. On our before, how to take it. I don't say one hotel, we only teach a project. I'm not going to say that before they take you. Your ATM will tell them not stop work. Because I'm in charge.
He doesn't create
Okay, sir.
movements. He backs
I'll
them.
stop
He
work.
doesn't pick leaders. He backs them. And right now, there's not. Look at what he's doing in Iran. Everything. The protesters. You have to not. He's about. He sees that. He hears that. He sees them on the streets, and he sees them getting shot. I hate to say it, but he has gotten in, and look what he's done because of the protesters. If there wasn't the protesters in Iran, there wouldn't be Trump in Iran. I believe that.
Now, do you know? Very good. You see, more than 50,000 protesters were gunned down in Iran.
I know.
Brother Mike, do you know how many Biafrans have been gunned down from protesting? Do you know because of protesting and we losing our lives, we decided to go another route? I don't know if you are aware of what they call sit at home. Have you heard of
sit at home? No cancel. Now, spring leader no cancel. This is the thing. Spring leader paid cancel according to you. US will declare adopted it. Dozier Ajimaya passed it into law. If I have been strategic, can you know strategy now? If I have reject, I reject. The web dozier your mama, you will legal bucket for it. I got in school. I'm going to school. They got to think ATM mother. Imagine.
No, oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not being done, but the attention's not. It's not getting the attention, and it doesn't have the. And it the world. Let me back up a little bit. I'm working on an article that I'll be releasing in the next week or so, and looking for very top publisher for this one. Because it's an eye opener and a paradigm shift, and I think this. Let me unpack it for you because I think this is how you get the world's attention. Okay, talk here. What I start with is this: what would history be like if the Nazis had won in World War II? If America hadn't intervened, what would history say about the Holocaust? It would, if anybody talked about it, they'd call you a conspiracy theorist. They would call you that you're a terrorist, even.
From Africa. From Africa country. Gapota. Second as of freedom. I got a terrorist. Not separate states. Many country in Africa. I terrorist. When I found the terrorists, Fana Magare. Oh, they are calling us terrorists here. Israel, come and see you. And they said that they are afraid of fighters.
They would say all kinds of stuff about you and diminish you if the Nazis wrote the history books, right? You're tracking with me? Well, you don't have to look far to see what it would look like, because that's what happened in Nigeria. The wrong people won in 1970. And they wrote the history books. And so the Holocaust has been written off as if it doesn't exist. That's the history of Biafra. That's what they're afraid of, is that knowledge. Because when you add up the Sokoto Caliphate's conquest from then from start to today, it is on par with the Jewish Holocaust in Germany.
Exactly.
And so there's a hidden Holocaust that's still going.
India will know the lawyer and so much depend on Kobata. Finland, the talk. Finland, just look at them. Huh?
You need to connect the Christians being slaughtered today with the Christians
with
the Christian and the animists slaughtered in the 1800s. I mean, it's all one conquest. And when you put Biafran history in its proper place, it all clicks together. Right? So what we're fighting is to end the Holocaust.
Exactly.
And it really is on par with that. And when you get into the Igbo connection to Israel, and Israelites, it even clicks together even more. So that narrative is super important that people understand the history of it. And when you can educate, it doesn't take long to educate people. I'm not saying you have to have a 7-year campaign to teach people. It can happen in a conversation. But I don't see anybody having that conversation. That is Biafra. But if the movement,
they cannot have the conversation now because they are fake. They are fake. They cannot have conversation. Many of them don't even know what conversation is all about. They are liars and deceivers. They cannot have conversation because they are fighting.
Stop its infighting, can stop resting on the plateau, and can focus on the mountaintop. I don't hear the education coming out of the average person's mouth, and I certainly don't hear the vision. And this is a true drawback to the movement.
Imagine.
The Israelite
true drawback.
I don't intend to take word out of your mouth. If you can maintain your line of thought, I will bring this up very quickly. To know that, thank God you are aware of the Sokoto conflict and what they are capable of doing. You know that these people are so rich with the wealth of what they stole from the south.
Hey,
Biafra land.
Imagine
the money is so much that now, do you know what they do? Now you are so now.
Okay, not small phone. I wash your way. Okay, it's another small phone. I watch your way. Come on, my face. You're after. Instead of making points, it was your way. I'm the most important to her.
In fact, I don't need to explain so much. You are aware of what happened with Reno Mokri. Reno Mokri was a person you thought was a good guy.
Imagine.
But
the bridge. All to Mazen now, they can walk away. All to Reno Mokri. So this will happen.
Eventually, you find out that this is a man so gluttonous, a man that loved money more than his life, a man that was bought already. Not only him, that is what Nigerian government does. Now with Biafra, do you know what they have done with Biafra? They come in when they see those that are going to make impact. They go in and try to buy people to sit around them, to compromise them. They have so much money. This is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu already knew.
Yeah.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been approached with millions and millions of offers.
How do you know? All these lies on the social media, something that is unverified. How do you know? No, out of imagination. Yeah? This is the problem. How would you people get evidence to back up your claim now? I am not saying it is not possible, but to preach, don't stop preaching people. How can we move forward from here? The man, he can't go for he continue.
Rejected it. Simon Ekpa was approached and they told him they will make him richer than Dangote. He rejected it. Now, they work with Finland to make sure they keep him out of the way. They work against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and lock him up. You see what happened in Sokoto? And now,
after keeping them off the way, you abandoned everything and you followed plan B.
They make sure that those people they paid within the movement, these are Biafrans. They give them a lot of money. So now they begin to cause trouble within us. There are some of us.
A man of plan B. Nearly about thousands of dollars. Yeah?
That have resolved never to be bought. Just like the man, I don't want to start mentioning name, a man that you know very well.
You see?
He started, when I have issues, he would.
This is the problem. Why not talk about Biafra and the way forward? I'm not question. It's about the problem. I call now call Reno. I call Mazin Mandeka. Call Nigeria Constitution. Call for Mazin Mandoko. Now I don't want to get it. Or what on Chiko?
Support me. And then he would come and do. I never knew that his intention was to make sure that when he tries to sabotage the government, I will run along with him. But when I found out that, so this $1,000 you gave me is just because you want me to run along with you.
Walk on not for $1,000. Oh man, of $1,000. Oh man, of $1,000. Oh man, even I want to hear some of you that some of you do not understand. In some countries, let me put it that way. Before a woman for interview like this, in some countries, everybody really know TV station. So remember the interview in some country, TV station so everyone know somebody that will go to interview that person. If you tell me when I make a crowd for yeah. Now this is the complete.
When you want to sabotage Simon Ekpa, so I decided to speak out. I said, no, that $1,000 was just to support me. I said, I gave you money. I gave you that. That's what the caliphate have done. But so many people. Please, whoever is calling me, stop calling me. I will block you. Stop calling me. It's not your time to call. So
Exactly.
when you come in and see this thing fighting, what it means is that the caliphate are working very hard. They are ruthless. You know how far they can go. So
always blaming the caliphate. You don't even blame yourself. Everything about caliphate, everything about caliphate. I am telling you, everything about caliphate.
Please understand when some of our people, when they speak like this, they're not speaking because they want to go against your own ideas. Your ideas are perfect. In fact, your ideology and your method is the method that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have already taken for many years. So, and it's not as if it's not going to work, but with people like you and with more like you, I think we're going to make more impact. That's why we are happy having this conversation. Please go ahead without losing your line of thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm in a good position because I can't and I shouldn't and I won't. There's no way I could lead this movement. I'm a white American, okay?
If I in an be government gunta about that. Australia. In fact, the man always wear my way now. Some of them, they believe that is their good name more than everything. And the more like notice here irregularity for our wars. That is one thing about in the other. More than there is no truth for our wars. That is one thing about in the other. And if I refer someone, I am. Let's continue.
I can only serve, only help, and that's I'm not looking for a leadership position. I want it. So don't think I'm jockeying for anything. So take me as a coach, okay? I'm a movement coach, and so here's the thing: without vision, people perish, right? That's biblical, and I've asked countless passionate advocates of Biafra. I've asked them, okay, you got your, because we need division, we need separation, we need referendum. I say, okay, why? What's on the other side of it? Describe what you're wanting to build. What is the vision after that? Say, take me down the road 5 years after separation. What are you building? What's the vision? And not one of them has ever answered me. Not saying that it's not out there, but that's how you get stuck on a plateau. The Israelites, yeah, Pharaoh sucked. Egypt was horrible. They had to make bricks and all that stuff. But they did that for a very long time. It was the promise of the promised land and the vision of a land flowing with milk and honey that ultimately led them through the wilderness to conquer. And I don't hear that from leadership of the movement. And without that, there's no yardstick to judge who the better leader is, right? There's no who's the authentic leader. It's not who has the most contacts and the most photo ops. Who can help us get there? Who can articulate that vision? Leadership, at its essence, is having a vision from God that's your assignment. And then you bring alignment to your assignment. Okay? And I don't see it. Alignment means helping people understand it, helping people see it, and putting people where they belong so they can work together to achieve it. Okay, alignment to your assignment. So that the young teenage want to be influencer out there that stays online and comments, they need to bring alignment to that vision. Alignment isn't yelling Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. It is reaching out to those who don't know what that means and saying, hey, let me teach you something. Let me educate you. There's this place. And here's what's happened there. And here's why they're calling for self-determination. It doesn't take all day. But bring alignment, bring people in, and then help them walk that path to see that vision and to be passionate about that vision.
Wow.
That's how social movements work. And without vision, people perish. Whoever wants to lead the movement should be best at articulating that vision. What does it look like? What are we building? What do we want to leave our children? What do we want to be in the world? What does it look like after the boundaries redrawn?
Yeah, that's with that in mind, please, Deputy, I want you to go through the bullet points you have on how Biafra would look like. Maybe like 5 or 6 points. You can, read it out for us. I'm going to bring you in on that. Where after Mike have responded to this comment on the screen, somebody is asking you, Mazi Mike. Now they've given you a title, Mazi. I don't know if when they give you Mazi, somebody should tell you the meaning. Mazi means someone who has so much integrity.
That I don't like. What is giving of them, Mazi? Giving of them, brother. If I have a way in the Ocha, I am there on abroad. But at least by now we should know how they reason. We should know how they think. What is Mazi? Must you call him Mazi? Must you give him this confused name?
Integrity. So, Mazi Mike Arnold, please, can you tell us more about what you know about Mazi Mike Arnold? Just a little bit. Please, whoever is calling me, I will watch the last time.
All the time, back to that question. Tell us what you know about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nah, it is crazy.
Don't call me again. We have not opened the line yet. Please, CK, stop calling me. Please. When you call me, you are distracting the program because it's ringing on my computer. I won't warn you again, CK. Stop calling me. So when it's time to make call, I will tell you, you will start calling, okay? So please, Mazi Mike, I want you to tell us if you know anything about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Mazi Mike. I never really like Mazi Mike. Ever. The man will be like, they are jokers. What is Mazi Mike? Jokes of the century. Nah, these are low brains. Sorry, guys.
A little bit or whatever it is that have made
so
so connected to him. Please, can you just let us know and how far you have gone so far and you are willing to go to make sure he is free?
Sure. So that's a great question. And, I know enough of the biographical information But what made me see the importance of who he is and what he stands for is seeing the love and devotion and loyalty that so many people have for him. I've become friends with a group here, great guys, Avid. I don't know if you're familiar with AVID. Good people. And I was
I know them, fantastic people. Yeah, I know them. They're working with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah,
I was on a Zoom call with them, and this was some time back. And one of the leaders said, "I want you to understand something." He said, "None of us here on this call and around the world, we can't sleep at night knowing that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto prison. We wake up in the morning and he's on our thoughts. When we pray, he's the first that we pray for." That's real. These are people of integrity, people of faith, people of success, that know him personally and intimately, and that kind of love and loyalty to me speaks volumes more than anything else. I know that, and look, there's some. I don't agree with everything he ever said, and I don't know everything he ever said. And I understand being in passion and being caught up in the moment. There's some things he said that I have trouble defending. But I understand it. I relate to it, and I wasn't there, so I'm not going to judge that. But again, I'm just letting you know. And here's the other thing: I know how hard it is that I've worked to study and to gain the insight that I've gained, and nobody spoon-fed it to me. Okay, and it's been bit by bit, chunk by chunk, book after interview, after visit, after revelation. I don't know if that answered your question directly. I mean,
wow. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. And maybe with time you will still tell us a little bit more, because you have spoken a lot also about his incarceration and how they use a law that does not exist to lock him up in Sokoto Caliphate, that is very close to the den of the terrorists and all that. And then that's fair enough. And I don't know if my deputy have another question in relation to Mazin Nnamdi Kanu before you go into that.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Information. Mr. Mike, there's one question you've not asked us. I thought your because what our plan? How are we planning to get what we are looking for? Yes.
How are you planning to get? Go ahead, answer.
Good.
Answer it.
We are using diplomatic way
with CRC Bgc. We are using diplomatic way with CRC Bgc. We go to bottom the paper. You see, I'm correct. We are using diplomatic way. You have not asked us this question of how we intend to get this Biafra. You can answer it. Jokers. We are using diplomatic way. Cabo, Ejo, Esa, Equal Esa. We are using diplomatic way. Can I get it?
In combination with liberation way.
Liberation way. Can you include the liberate? Diplomatic way and the liberation way. This woman. So, you're going to go. I can Christian mother. I can the Christian mother. I can't go. Oyichi. We are using liberation way and the Christian mother.
Three-dimensional.
We are
sitting at home every Monday. We are trying to make expositions.
Exposition. On the exposition.
Diplomatic side.
Diplomatic
That's
side
what I
exposition.
mean.
Una Soronya Habarista. Una Soronya Habarista.
Then we are also,
Hey!
we have,
And the one over the Congress of look at people. We are using diplomatic way. We are sitting at home, no voice. No, now there is voice. There is voice. We are using diplomatic way. There is voice. There is voice. We are using diplomatic way. Yeah? Child. We are doing exposition. Diplomatically. Child.
security personnel. We call it Biafra Liberation Army. We have that.
Yes.
So we have that one to fight this liberation for us. Yes, that's the extent that we have gone. We have actually gone very far.
Yeah. Absolutely. I believe that's all fantastic. That's all good. It seems to be stalled. I'm trying to, that needs to be, there needs to be more unity in the movement. That unity must be around vision.
And the worst part of it, I don't think I want to I'm waiting for it. She have sold her chain. You cannot be on the wrong side without selling your chain. Put it up for sale, auction it. Guys, sell it. Ready chain, this is why I have sold her chain. We are using diplomatic way.
And from that vision will flow the messaging and understanding and all that. But I don't see, and I'm telling you, I interact with Biafran activists online incessantly. I mean, just in the last week and a half, I've gained over 90,000 Facebook followers, and I'm pretty engaged. When I say that there's a lack of vision, there's a lack of messaging discipline, I mean it. Here's something, you don't, and here's the problem that we face as a movement. And it's the problem that free people always face. We're free, and therefore we don't follow lockstep. There's a reason the British picked.
No, we're going to it's into our water part. It's funny. That is it. Behind glass. Found over there about 20 days. We came out how serious they're supposed to appear. And I'm telling you, I want to have behind bars.
The North for indirect rule, because they're submission. That's what Islam means, submission. So when their leader puts out talking points, they all use it. I see this online as well. I get every day. I know what the talking point list is that the Islamic influencers get, because they all start saying the same thing. And they're very good at it. When you have an unruly,
we have an audience. We have an audience, and I'd like to go with the audience today. Somebody says,
there needs to be messaging discipline, and it needs to be around the vision, and that's how you crystallize those forces to the next step.
Exactly.
Somebody said, to be honest, I have not yet seen anything meaningful in this interview.
Somebody said, meaningful. Let me honor. I'm disappointed. I've been for no less than 20-30 minutes. Somebody watching is somewhere saying that they have anything meaningful. For more than 30 minutes, we hand over here. And the headman is reading it.
Sorry to say. The reason why we are doing this is because we are open to the air. So this person ask Brother Mike that question that will make this very meaningful. Or I'm going to put up the link. That's why Brother Mike is here. He wants us to have a meaningful freedom fighting movement, or to have a very reasonable and a sensible movement that will get to the whole world. It's not for you to stay on the comment section and say it's not meaningful. You are here. That thing that wants to make it meaningful, I'm going to put the link right now. Because of you, I'll put the link earlier on. And I'm sure Brother Mike is ready to get into a meaningful conversation with you. I don't know your name. You said the INZG.
Hey, yo.
So you're going to put in that meaningful question, and Brother Mike will be ready to answer it. Brother Mike, there's a question that one of our sisters asked here, Helen. She said, how do you think that a new Nigeria can be achieved under Islamic government? How do you think?
No, there's no way it can. And let me tell you something. Here's the fact. In 1400 plus year history, Islam has never been stopped in any territory without a war. Never in 1400 years. I pray and I hope there's a way that can be achieved. But there's no way within the system that you're going to get the power to change that system. So there are options that, Lord willing, don't require a war. I believe the numbers are still there, and I believe, again, the international winds are blowing in this direction. There is international precedent for the international community to come in and not just monitor, but actually supervise a free and fair election. Because monitoring does nothing. But to actually conduct, the international community has gone into other nations like this and conducted a free and fair, transparent election in the place of the existing system. That's what I think needs to happen. I think, and if you look across, from the very beginning, and of course it's evolved some as I've grown, but from the beginning I've called on Trump and the international community to arrest President Tinubu for genocide. He is guilty because of his denial of aid and recognition to millions of displaced. Yeah, he acknowledges the minimum number in the international community can do, that they should do. Indict Tinubu for genocide, because if those things happen and the international community comes in with a free and fair election and on that ballot is a new constitution, I think it can be done. But without that, it's going to take, unfortunately, historically, it's always been a war.
The man Nakowa into new Nigeria is very possible. It is fantastic. The freedom fighter.
It's not going to happen within the machine as it is.
Thank you. And with already you can see that Tinubu is doing everything to make sure free and fair election does not happen. And then you can already see that, and the way they're fighting it, it will not happen. But I thank God that you are speaking up in that regard. And then somebody's asking, my question to Mazi Mike is, did he support dividing Nigeria? I think I can answer this question very quickly because Mike, you have already responded to it. Brother Mike have already said that we can work towards fighting for a referendum. So when somebody supports a referendum, that means referendum means that you will vote. That's exactly the same thing Mazi Nnamdi and Simon Ekpa have been asking for. So anybody that supports
vote online also, if you see
referendum for Nigeria means that he's not against dividing Nigeria. That is the choice of the people. I don't know if I'm speaking your mind, Mike.
I'm for self-determination.
1 year will be like, hey, finally. So I am now on the camera with Woko on your chat. Hey, finally, it is happening. I mean, don't will be here. Finally. So camera on the show. I had a finally. I'm on my camera. Okay,
so for me to say yes, here's
if I go see your camera, to go to 1 year village one. If I go see your camera, now imagine it just whoever so finally. Thank God that by Crc Bgc.
Here's where the map should be. That's about self-determination. I don't live there, and I'm not from there. I'm for the people to be able to govern themselves as the Lord leads them to do so. And I believe there's Nigerians look, I'm using that term because that's what the world sees. There's a place on the map called Nigeria, and the people that live there are called Nigerians. You and I know there's nuance, but I believe there's Nigerians of every tribe and every region, every religion, that are deeply passionate and want self-determination. They all hate the overlords, and the other side uses the divide and conquer strategy. Oh, this is an Igbo thing. This is just a Biafra. It's more than Igbo. It's more than Biafra.
Yes.
It's a human thing. And when you can communicate it that way and reach out and embrace other human beings of all tribes and regions that believe the same way, then I believe you can achieve. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And I'm calling on those who want self-determination to slow down. I'm not saying slow down the movement, because by slowing down, you'll actually get it faster. I'm saying respect where your audience is, that they don't know what Biafra means. They don't know what you stand for. They don't know what your vision is. If you want them to go with you there, you need to take those steps and educate them on those things. You need to be able to articulate it yourself. The history, the reason you're passionate.
If I now was saying, Obranda US very clear now. Okay, it is them US very clear. All I want to educate is in okay ban when I'm being nothing. If refer they have nothing. Over US very declared now, I present Rionia, if any make of US very declared and our targets. Then suggestion work out, keep it up. Continue pushing. You are going to have it. Because this will not want to that. And make advice, respect people's opinion. You need to go back home. You need to start from grassroots. There has to be a referendum. There has to be constitutional review. Make advice called a suggestion, because they have nothing. But no, USB declared USB declared represent something. This thing I'm on work. Because of normal work, let we put this thing in place. The man will be convinced and take them serious
about it, what you want to build. Without that, you're just going to run in circles.
I have a question. Mr. Mike, why do you think we don't have audience? You know, the indigenous people of Biafra have actually created, that is the movement that our leader started. Actually created a lot of awareness.
Barrister shall audience me animal social media. Or I will feel like the machine commander of terrorists. You see, barrister. You have audience. You have audience. Even the social media I'm bringing in. Now calling you. We have created audience.
Of our question.
Yeah. Certainly, again, I've said there's a global movement that's been started, and I think
exactly there is a global movement. That global movement have become now a country. You cannot recognize global movement without recognizing that the global movement have given birth to, which is USB clear. I can't even global movement. Although no USB declared, we are no longer doing global movement. Global movement is organized. USB has been declared.
And it's fantastic. I'm telling you that it's two things. You go down the streets of America and you ask 1,000 people if they've ever heard the word Biafra. All 1,000 of them in most places will say no.
Okay.
Second, here's the reality. And when I first emerged as a human rights advocate, I'm just
human rights advocate.
Guy from Blanco, Texas, that trying to help some displaced people get back home.
But making Africa when displaced people get back home. Human rights advocate. Onyocha is advocating for human rights for Bongolians in Africa that is homeless. And then the IDP. so that they can go back home. And those that claim that they don't know anything about Jesus, they are doing nothing to make sure that their own people return home. But Onyocha have become human rights activists, so that those in Bongo can actually go home. Wherever come.
But the fact is that, how can I say this?
We're not
When I was first brought into the movement, I was told if you say the word Biafra, every door in Washington will close in your face.
If every door in Washington is closed, where people get in Washington, what is he doing there? What is he doing? Yeah, I didn't get any.
That's what I was told by insiders who have seen it. Okay, look.
Oh, you can't know that. Oh, he can't go down the road with a lawyer. What is that? Joseph, that is going everywhere in Washington now. That the door is no longer, the door will not be closed again.
Anybody can pay a lobbyist to get a photo op. That doesn't mean they're accomplishing anything. Most.
Can you say that again?
Going there.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again?
Anybody can pay a lobbyist.
Lawyer, coach, like the guy he came with a lawyer. Okay, lawyer, somebody has been going there. Again, has been going there. What going on job on a porch? Again, you could get out. What's that about? With that, I will personally carry that back and set it ablaze by propaganda. I'm telling you. Wait
Anybody can walk into a congressional office and taken. Okay.
Wow.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Imagine.
Well, anyway, maybe we are going to have more interviews with Mike down the road. But Mike, in a simple term, what you're saying is that we need to get the right audience, because if our audience are only within our circle,
and Mike was one of the right audience. I think I do. Mike, you know, Crc Bgc host where that tomorrow get to host where was on a right audience. Yeah, also on a right audience.
Then we are not speaking to the right audience. That's what I'm taking away from what you're saying. So we need
to go beyond that. You need to change your language. You can't use the same jargon. It's like outreach for a church. You have to tell them your story. I've studied the rhetoric.
The man is just being careful. Before every man, we were like in the his comment section
of social movements. God is my whole life is funny. It seems like He's prepared me for this. The most powerful form of persuasion is the first person narrative. Your story.
First person narrative. Your story. That is if I'm there with Mike, you will get them because far bro when you need to find to make the job difficult for right people. In fact, they give you the suspect about right people. Now why the listening here? Is he not one of them? Now why will I do that? So the evil to be planting evil seed. No be in the tell your story. Can this story I end that tell you now? Can this story I end tell you? In the card, they tell you the story of our ID. Tell you the story of our declaration. Tell you the story of the first convention. Tell you the story of the second convention that gave birth to the declaration. Tell you the story of the document generated. Tell you the story of the online referendum and the online referendum. Yeah? Not no story. If I had
is the most powerful form of persuasion, because if you can get people to relate to you as you've gone from here to here to here, they will go with you from here to here to here. but it takes time. You have to unpack it. You have to build the relationships. You can't just yell Biafra at people. You'll never get anything if you keep doing that, because people don't know what it means. And the people that do, a lot of them will shut the door in your face. So you need to do a better job of reaching people where they are, educating them, walking them down the journey.
Eggman, no way will be like, nah, my dear, mommy, let me see how the CBGC in charge. In a room that I have not done, I'm not doing anything. Eh? If my boy will show your more coma, if my boy will be a friend. Yeah, I don't know.
You've taken to get to this point. And when you do that, the world will come with you.
Wow.
If every person who considers themselves part of the Biafran movement were tomorrow to just have a conversation with the person that's next to them and truly educate them, it doesn't take long. I believe you'll double the movement overnight.
Evangelism is what you're talking about. Evangelism.
Double the movement overnight, but it's personal, it's relationships, it's storytelling, it's history, and it's vision. That's how you move a movement. Without that, you're dead in the water. You're just going to stay on this plateau infighting forever until you switch gears and realize that the future is in your hands. It's not going to come by begging. It's going to come by building a movement that's unstoppable.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mike. And there are more. I'm going to be bringing in, how many people who can take, Mike, how long do you still have to spend with us? You have another half an hour?
I have about 20 minutes maximum, because I have another interview after this that I have to do.
Oh my God. Okay. Then please, I will bring you, anybody I bring in, just 2 minutes, at most 3, so that I'll be able to bring in at least 3 more people for Mike to respond. Please, Mike, we're going to be calling on you from time to time to educate us on this, and I'm sure, God willing, you will.
Education on you see how useless this boy is. How useless this boy is. So yeah, means nothing to him. Now, freedom is taken, not given. The need to align with US need is clear. We don't know where. Now we there here. If we have about disgrace, I go disgrace. I program. Think it. Yeah, I know whoever have before you
will grant us the audience. Please, we have our sister Patricia Onwumere. Please, Patricia, unmute yourself, and I'm sure your mic is open, and you have the microphone. 3 minutes.
All right. Good evening, everyone, especially to our guest, honorable guest, Mike Arnold. God bless you so much. We appreciate all that you've been doing and how you've been speaking that will just put everything that we are needing to do. He has the secret in him. So he's
why you know about the declaration? Why you wear glass here?
Coming out to do a very great job.
Thank you, Mr. Mike, for your time. Question: why do you think that the Sultan of Sokoto does not address your questions on what direct contact they have with AI, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Taliban, and the other jihadists?
All right.
To our freedom, Biafran freedom.
Great question. So it's something that I have been advocating for. Absolutely. His detention is unjust. It is illegal. And he should be immediately released. And I believe that leaders around the world should be demanding that. It's a lack of awareness and education. This also, I believe that the cause would be better served when his plight is made more universal. Not just, this is just about this tribe and this is about this one little, he's actually, advocating for truth and justice and human rights and self-determination. If you notice in my presentation to the Congress a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that very strongly. I also mentioned separation very strongly. I didn't mention them at the same time. I separated those two.
Kedu ihe ọ bụ n'ọnụ bụ Nkiru barrister.
Okay, because the way it is now, anybody that you're tying him to that issue which hurts his cause. When you make it that his cause is a human rights cause, it's a universal cause. It's about injustice. It's about impunity. It's about illegality. It's about tyranny. It's about justice. I believe you'll make it a global movement, and so that's what that's what I call for, and that's how you're going to get Trump. Notice it was Riley Moore that demanded Sunday Jackson be released. It wasn't because of his tribe. It wasn't because of his politics. It was because it was unjust.
Wow.
Why didn't he call for Nnamdi Kanu to be released? Because it's muddied with politics.
Yes.
But it shouldn't be. When it's laid bare and it's about impunity.
My this thing is cracking, so I wasn't really getting everything.
He said that is the way Jackson. There's this guy Jackson that was sentenced to life, for defending himself. That's how he got his own freedom. So he said we should create more awareness on the area of the injustice Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is suffering, and we will get more sympathizers in the global community. Thank you very much. And that's much I can take from you, Patricia. I will allow someone else to come. Thank you very much. Except if you have one more.
Everything, and again, he comes from a long history of jihadists, of genociders. That's all he knows. So he doesn't see anything that he doesn't see anything wrong with related to like-minded people around the world, and he certainly doesn't owe us an explanation. I made it very easy for him yesterday. I researched what exactly would a fatwa, properly Islamically, legally crafted, what would it look like that he could sign that would stop all this pretty quick. And I drafted it for him. All he has to do is sign the fatwa that says this, killing these people is haram, polluting these minerals is haram.
Minutes, bring your submission and ask Mike a question.
Thank you very much, my information minister. I'm so sorry I came late, but I knew today was the day, but because of work and other things, I couldn't make it early. Thank you, my sister. I salute you. Thank you very much. Mr. Arnold, I salute you. Good evening from here. I live in the UK, and I know UK is part of those that doesn't want Biafra to come because of what they are getting from our land. We are just like slaves in our own land. I just want to ask a little bit of questions. You just said, what I heard you just said is that you need more awareness. You need more.
Not that he need more awareness, that you people have to go and create more awareness.
But we have somebody in the prison right now in Finland that gave us so much awareness that the whole world was
the awareness you have abandoned
on him, to the extent that the British asked to send one of their journalists to come and interview him, and he said, I am the good guy. I don't know if you know about him. His name is Simon Ekpa. He's our PM. He gave us so much awareness that the zoo was about to crumble, and they ran to England, and England managed to speak with Finland, and he is where he is today. So if a person like him can create that so much awareness, and the British and the Nigerian government could hold him down, do you think my awareness will be enough to do anything? Or there is a way you can help to speak to Donald Trump to release our prime minister so that the awareness will start going forward? Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm doing all I can to get an audience with Donald Trump. I mean, it is what it is. That's one guy. I'm one guy. Here's the thing. They can shut up one person. They can't shut up millions of people. And The point is that if every single person who ever got on my feed posting Biafra now, if they were to actually take a minute and reflect on how they can best articulate their position, and they were to reach out to somebody, you would have 1 million voices. And that would become overnight 2 million voices. And it could become overnight after that 4 million if everybody keeps telling the story and sharing it in a way that people can relate to. Evangelism, it can grow. And what Trump looks at is movements, not just
fire. If one fire, there was evangelism. If one hand was in the same league, the man ever had evangelism. So he was very proud of Ebeno. Work more harder. Makamoro is not cheap. They were ready to do more.
Just people movements, not just. So consider your jailed leaders to be those seeds. Now they're planted. Now you have to sprout.
And that is exactly what he did. And he landed him where he is today. So what can the European Union do now? Because they say go and do something.
After that you are going to, nobody give you power, you take power. You cannot say for European Union, German. European Union,
and he tried to do something. What did he do? Create awareness. That is all he did.
It starts from the bottom up, and that's very important. And then a follow-up question is, you made mention of Mandela when you said Mazinam Kanu reminds you of Mandela. Now, Mandela was never abandoned in prison by those that were following him. So what do you have to say about some set of Biafrans that would say, because Nnamdi Kanu is in prison, because Sam Arepa is in prison, they are building and creating another movement and another leader? So what kind of negative impact would that have on a movement like this? Because Mandela remained the leader of the people, and therefore
focused
on what they were fighting for 27 years. So with what you just said now, with some kind of distraction we are having, some set of groups would go to Washington, take pictures, and I love it that you said pictures and all that is not what, So I want you to lay a little bit of emphasis to encourage.
When we were telling this blockhead here, Eggman, okay, I have a blockhead. Now this thing is not all about taking pictures. He didn't believe us. He will be like that in the TV. They paid you money. But we were telling him it is not about pictures. Oh, we are making impact, we are making move. We are fighting in Washington DC. Yeah? Biafra is fighting in Washington DC. And I got you couldn't even make the machine outside. Every time they throw the get in Washington, I'm going to passage again. So I think that number to be a deal or not passage with Abia. Say pictures are saying we are fighting in Washington DC. Yeah, he's always the passage. No, never rest like all the
encourage us on how we need to rally around these leaders that are in jail, because we could also be in jail for the same reason that they are in jail. So does it mean when a leader is in jail, every other person will just abandon them and say they are useless now, and they start raising up dust somewhere and claim that they are fighting for freedom? Please.
That's a good question, and I don't have a soundbite answer. Look at the Bible, how the way Jesus led and how the way Paul led. They didn't stick around very long. Jesus' ministry was 3 years. Paul would stay in a community 2 months up to 2 years. And he created a movement. He brought alignment to his assignment. He latched people on to the vision and the history and got them in the flow, and they moved on. Then they led through correspondence. They led through covering. They led through rebuke. They didn't have to be there, but they didn't. Any true disciple maker, and that's what we're talking about, is discipleship. I mean, we're using biblical model here. Desires their pupils, their disciples, to go further than they did. Okay, So it's both and. Yes, they need to have. They're still the leaders. They still have the covering. They're the ones that broke the ice and created the way. But I believe that they would both be honored to know that the movement is growing and expanding, not jockeying for position, not trying to take their leadership away.
We don't agree with that.
Also, we don't agree with that.
But a movement is broad-based. Again, under their covering, I'm not saying to replace them, but if it has to stop when they stop, then there's no movement.
Mr. Mike, we're not in a movement.
Are the distractions?
Also, we are not in a movement. We are afraid of. Listen.
Somebody called me. I don't understand. Can you just repeat what he said?
Who's
the head? Jesus is the head of the church, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we know that, right? And we have the Holy Spirit and all that. But he left this earth and allowed us to grow and expand and beyond. And if if the whole movement's in jail because the leaders are in jail, then you're never going to get anywhere. It needs to have life. My personal leadership philosophy is that leaders leave. If I'm building something that needs me to run it, then I'm not leading.
If I am building something that needs me to run it, that means I am not building.
I'm trying to create disciples that have lives and brains and thoughts of their own, all in alignment.
That was what Mazin Nandekano did. Listen to Simon Epandoko. Share his program. He is bringing new dimension. The gangsters of our world.
And still under the covering, still under the leadership and guidance, but it doesn't require day-to-day operational control. That's why you're stalled. So
yeah,
it needs to be multifaceted.
Of course, it is multifaceted. For example, our leader, our prime minister, I didn't want to go because you are not inundated with all this, but I just want to give you a synopsis of this. Our prime minister, he established a government, Bgc, and in this government there are cabinets and there are structures. And with these structures, even when he is not there, the structures are functioning. They're functioning. Yeah. So what it means is that he will not give us instruction anymore, like he must tell us what to do. Already the structure kicks off and is working. The same thing. Before Mazin Namdekan was arrested.
So which structure are you now? Because now, let me put it that way. On Crc Bgc, get the structure of God. Bring in code and get it. Get the structure of God.
Said while he was kidnapped, he told the leaders that were under him, look, Simon Ekpa should be given the charge to handle the position he has been in the media. But because some of them were bought by the caliphate, just like you said, because it came to a point where some of them said they already got a lion's share. You understand? So they now, even the government of Nigeria was saying that they are working with those sets.
All this story, because tomorrow, Edman can easily follow plan B and abandon the man. Even in Korea, because everybody is a suspect. They are in error.
They started fighting Simon Ekpa, whom Namdekan already told them that now that he is inside, he should continue actively, but they refused. So the same thing has been happening. That's why you see some of these kind of things. And then anyway,
I want to make sure, because I only got a couple more minutes. I'm not, because I see you shaking your head. You disagree with me. But Paul said, Apostle Paul wrote, you have many teachers, you don't have many followers, you don't have many fathers.
Onye pụtara nnọọ chọọ nwa ofu ụgbọ afọ na-attach to his or her barrister. La foreign land. Barrister UK. Yeah? Come or immigration barrister. Barrister.
True leader of a movement is a father to the movement. And a
Yes.
father's goal is to raise up children that grow and that are thriving and that don't. I have children. I don't need to tell them what to do every day. I raised them right.
You're correct.
I'm
You're
still
correct.
their father. They still honor me.
They're not in a
Exactly.
We are into freedom fighting.
Why am this man, the way man can't you? I'm telling you, why you forehand completely?
This needs to be a movement. It needs to be a movement. Whatever you call it, that's what this must be. Otherwise,
Imagine. Yeah? This man will get tired of listening to this war. At least he must maybe next time when they call him, he will not come. Because you know, and Iria believe. Iria the Calosinos boss.
Let's go after that. Maybe next time when Mike comes,
in fact, in making you anybody here, nobody turn off.
Take two more questions for you, Mike, please. I know you're in a hurry. Two more questions.
3 minutes to make it fast. I have another interview. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Maz Ezioku, please take the mic, and then we'll make one call. Ezioku, please take the mic.
Barrister.
Ezioku, can you unmute yourself? Are you there?
Part of the world, we don't see any reasonable assistance from the Western world, America, where you come from, and other places. Why is it in that? Why is it that way?
That's a good question. Islam means submission. There's not a lot of freedom of expression or movement within Islam. You don't see counterfeit Islam very much because it bears very little resemblance to what God calls church. Interview here in just a couple minutes.
Please, just
of information, Madam Munki, and our senior. Should we abandon our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Ukuchukwu, and our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa? Are you advising us to leave them?
No, not at all. But look, the Apostle Paul.
Question. Wait for him to answer. Thank you. All right.
The Apostle Paul spent his last 2 years in prison in Rome.
The man enabled many instances.
Still under his covering. He was still the Apostle Paul. He still was able to, from prison, provide covering and provide leadership to them. But he couldn't be there with him. He couldn't be. But did he want everything to stop when he was in prison in Rome? Thank God it didn't.
Neither does our leaders want anything to stop. Everything must continue. You're right. You're correct.
It must continue, and you edify them by continuing it and growing it along the trajectory and towards the vision that they have instilled in you. That's what I would guarantee you. If I was a leader like that, I would be heartbroken if I knew everybody was stalled waiting for me to give them instructions every day. It's about the vision. It's about the direction. It's about manifesting that. That's how you honor them. And then they are still, like Paul in prison, still the father, still the covering, still the leader. But there's a reason God has allowed him to be locked up for now. And maybe it's because it is time for the movement to grow.
Exactly. Imagine her behavior. She cannot even control herself. Imagine if who does that? Yeah? Imagine the man will be like, that is your business, up to you.
Paul in prison, just like Paul in prison in Rome. Just like Paul in prison in Rome, it didn't stop. It kept going. He was still Paul. He was still the apostle.
Hey, only team pataka. freedom fighters, barrister.
But it kept
Many
growing, and he was pleased by that. That's what he desired.
Look at the barrister.
Thank you so much, Mike, and we are happy to have you today.
Look at the barrister.
You can see that you have not exhausted all our questions, and the Africans are very happy to have you. And we are going to schedule another appointment again. For us. What it means is that our work must continue.
No.
We encourage you that your work must continue on behalf of our leaders.
Yeah, thank you. MikeArnold.org. My book, Epicenter, is still the #1 bestseller on Amazon for a night.
And then we'll continue. If your network is not connecting, if your call is not connecting,
remove the reintegrated terrorists that they have.
Comment, make your comment as we draw the curtain. Over to 2 minutes. Ika will freedom fighters. Comment and make a comment. Bam, learn nothing. I want to hear man. Comment and make your comment. Breathing from here.
Yeah, thank you so much, my brother Kelena. I'm going my way to go. It's a wokubo, my brother. Na keep baza. Oh, when you put no keep bazo. It's in a no genabia. Hana artizi. You can do how part of that. If you're not by it, not by it, I was it. I would pack at that bar was about. No, let me greet my people at the comment section. I greet each and every one of you in the comment section. We do Madrid ya gazero no. I say I'm buzo na ngomina masen kamba speedy buzo where I can keep as well. No ihu. My happiness so ụmụ ife karịrị ekeziri ọrụ eke ndị na onye ọbụla ketere egbekete a na-atọ ha vam our brother mbụkwa na our Professor Chino na-akọwara anyị ihe anyị kwesịrị ime ihe niile Mike anọdụ nọ here na-agwa ha na nwanne ọya ka USB na-eme the left asị onye amụma na-awụ ihe nga ya the left the written ha kwesịrị ime gacha ha kara aka Mike Arnold na-ekwu okwu referendum were asọ ihe ha mere na-ejifecha ya aka ebe ha bidoro our declaration ụwa ọsọ gbalụ m ihu ha ga-eji agwa Mike Arnold na Niagara Finland ga declare kedu ihu ha ga-eji gba onye a si na Lagos stage anyị nọ anyị declare yala anyị emene nke anyị now we are printing ID card even our money adigo print will our money which face would they use to tell this man all those things? Now let me bring it down to this woman o say nwanya wo onye eteke onwe ihe na akpa eteke look someone dey kwukwu na background because we make him here.
Yes, I just muted it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. This woman na say aha ya wo Nkiru. Nwanya hated our PM to the last. Oh, hated our one DOS. She hate our PM to the last. Mgbe o bịara makpute na ya na-emebu immediately ha our PM arrest. Na platform obuzo top na platform nwanyi isi ọcha. During that period, nwanyi isi ọcha ka na ekwire USB. Somebody bịa bata na this thing na kpọọ na phone. Si ya Nkiru na ọkwa ya nwa Nkiru na akwa ohetri PM anyị. Onwe ọdị ihe nọ na-agwa PM anyị ka ịkwana ihe ọ na-abịakwa n'ebe anyị bịa mee na ihe ọ sara ya bụ na and that time ọ bịakwara ọ gbakputere mana ọ na-ekwiri oge nkere that time ya sị ọ bụghị maka PM ka o ji wee bịa ọ maka oke ngwere. So I was surprised otu o sizi nọrọzi nga na-ekwu okwu PM anyị ejikwe na Maazị Simon na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu sị you should go and follow him. Even o presented nwunye ya the way our leader Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ji kwuo ya. What changed? These are mediocres operating in a black market. With this kind of people now, if you look at Maazị Akwa, lebo ta shi na awu onwe ha n'ala. The man na askata ha, bring na portinate ha n'ihu. And they will not even see it that way. Imagine mgbe nwoke ma gwara nwanyị don't put words in my mouth. Na-akụ aka. Ọ na-akụ aka na the man na-ekwul ọfụma ka ọ na-akụ aka na delay the cool off. The same system ndị zu na-eme. The drug law tie that's the same people. The same people. Akona owu na okwu ọfụma ka ọ na okwu mutebeghị ya. Now,
my brother Mike.
Ka oge nkere na-eme, let me round up. The same thing ka oge nkere na-eme, pụta agbara n'ihu ehu now. Something big is coming in Washington DC. Can Ngozi go there? Our DPM cannot stoop too low. Ega Ebeneme here invite. Our DPM call. Yeah, we am appear. And that program get as a spectator, a cameraman. Okay, with something to present. Even recognize the here. No, there. He was not recognized. Yeah, no, remember Elias the quarter no door. So that aso catch him, yeah, mapo. Ababana say, I know English, I won't basso catch Ababana. Thank you so much. I yield. Thank
you. Ben Chooks, greetings from here. Omakamale, grab the
mic. Thank you so much. It's also the spy who love me always be on the door. Thank you so much, brother Kellen, for bringing these people. You guys continue trashing them like a tissue paper. Imagine a woman that calls himself a lawyer who cannot present herself. It's really a shame. You see, the thing not there is the criminality of this Eggman is beyond imagination. How can you tell me that this man has a shame to tell a white man that somebody is giving him 1,000 naira? Is bribing him 1,000 naira. And look at how many hours they sit down with this man. None of them made mention of that and tell the man, we have declared Biafra. What can you tell us for the next step? None of them, both him and the useless barrister. These people that are completely disgusting, to be honest. They're very before. Maazị Akwa, the criminality this guy is too much. I don't know how anybody can believe this kind of person. He is interviewing somebody about his own struggle. That man. And what have those to do with liberation? This is my question. What can you understand from the interview? Zero. They cannot be able to even common single question. Only just one thing. Even somebody on the comment section said that I had never had anything interesting in this very interview. The idiot read it out. There's somebody on an interview. Does that give you a sense that these people that they know what they are doing? These are destroy agents. That's what they came for in this very movement. Destroyer, all of them. Mazikalena, let me drop it here.
Thank you so much, Ben Chooks. The goddess greetings from here. When did the because the goddess was near now? The goddess got the mic.
Greetings to everybody in the house. Everybody, greetings. Onyisi Woko, greeting. Maziko, choose your welcome. It's been a long time. From what happened, as Mukelena, na obukwa na imekwe program am ga-amakwa ihe dị na ya nọzi n'ebe, and you've decided to become ndị mmụọ that nobody have your contact. Mana ọ dịkwa m kwurugo time a ga-enwekwanụ contact gị. It is well. Ikwuo n'ime ya. Na mama ha egwu okenye amara egwu ana na ọba aghụghọ. So ebe nke a ga-ejido gị aka. So that is it. With what is happening in Kiru, when we were in Ezenago, Nwanyị Zụkwa N'Ike platform, yeah, in Kiru came in that platform, and Ezenago Nwanyị Zụkwa N'Ike weputie. Then she looks like a tomboy. And then she was on camera because on our saga. Saga is different from reality. The reality is now, Nkiru, you are a host, and a host to international somebody. Nkiru, when you watch this program, because you want to be Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, you want to lead. If on a leadership are easy, and this leadership is in your room, on your parlor, or living room, or in a kitchen again, and it is difficult, then how can you carry a whole public if you were to be the leader, if you were to be Ngozi Orabeze? So think about that. And from the interview you guys did, there is no one single lesson, nothing that will boost somebody morale or courage and say, yes, this interview is top notch. This is. And Kelena rightly said, you left the things that ought to be done, the things that ought to be said. We have redeclared this nation. We have gone this far with our ID card, with what we are doing to this. Please, can you throw more light to it? No, you people came with gossip. That is. But I want to thank God at the same time, because our prayer works. How do prayer works? At times, God will bring you out in the public to disgrace you. Nkiru, this is show of shame. Another thing I want to say is this. Nkiru, I don't think you went to school. You look to me like Tinubu. Yes. So I don't think you are learned. Why do I say so? And the kind of learning you put out here, I want to say, Madam or Miss Nkiru or Nkiru, no problem, but you put a barrister. That is barrister of the law. Barrister that you don't know the law. Maazị Kene, mgbe anyị nọ na nke Ezenago, Nwanyị Zụkwa N'Ike na Nwanyị Ezu Ike. Then this woman was at the background. Nwaanyị zukwa n'ike. Ọkpọ ọmụmụ na ya na-abụ na-ekwu sị there is a lawyer, there is a barrister na-ekwu that na asụpụzuru inwetere Maazị Nnamdi Kanu lawyer. Ọkwa ọ na-ekwu ọ na-eti mba mgbe m furu dịsi ikwiikwi ike ụwa gwụ m. Then nke ihu was on a screen. Ịtụọ isi gị aka, ịtụọ anya gị aka, ị na-amị ọnụ, ị na-atọ ọnụ, iwenite ya enu, iwenye isi na kamera. Nke iru, don't you know that this is international wise? And you people just made in short, amam ka m ga-eso ka Arnold don't see una finish o. Mike Arnold don't see una finish. Ọ bago unu ime and ọ fụrụ. And I want to tell Biafrans, God has used this opportunity to announce Dr. Ngozi Oradeze as the leader of USB and her cabinet, because from this, Dr. Arnold, Mike Arnold has known Nchaboncha. You understand? That's what it said. Don't put words in my mouth. And the worst thing they did was for this man calling Mr. Arnold brother. Osno brother Arnold, Osno bro Arnold. Amam Osno brother Mike Arnold, I don't know. Then, I don't know. In Okwaleba said, do you know the real meaning of Mazi? You start explaining the real meaning of Mazi. Who told you Arnold no nimu na amaro? Ebiakwa boya Mazi, Mike. So it looks childish. It doesn't look international wise. A boya Mazi. I've said it before, Ndiocha, you are man to man. When you talk officially, you talk sensibly. Onye ọcha na-ekwu okwu ọ na-ene gị anya n'ọnụ, na-ene gị anya n'imi, gị nwa na-ene anya n'ọnụ, na-enye ọ bụrụ na-agwa gị na-ese ife n'ala. So why do I say this? Thank you and thank God for this interview that came up. It exposed a whole lot of things. Amana ebe kasị wee tọọ m ụtọ bụ when Mike Arnold say, you can't be doing the same thing all the time. Or say, change your story. Story you na adịghị straight. Or say, if ọ na-abụ ụnụ bịa na Washington DC, ma ọ bụkwa Kelenna, ọ bụrụ na m nye gị super chat, ị ga-elo ya. Anya mgbara gị nnọọ tiketi, achọrọ m ka ị bịa DC, ka ị bịa mụọ kọfị DC anụ maka obi jukwanụ gị.
Thank you in advance.
So thank you very much. So why do I say this? Mark Arnold ihe eji akpọchido unu ụzọ ma unu bịa na DC from the intel he got is a shameful one that Oge Nkere has come to make a mess of what you people stand for, not what USB stand for. Onye ọbụla akọtụọ ya, listen to it very well. Maka Kelenna, ndị na-apụta na platform gị, tell us what Ngozi Oradeze has done. Our DPM Oge Nkere is in Washington DC drinking coffee. Then man na-ekọtụọrọ ha nke asa, look at what Mark Arnold onye ọcha nọ na Congress ife okwuru. I drop my mic. Thank you very much for this program.
Thank you. The goddess. Legend, the greetings from here. Omaka Mele, grab the mic.
Yeah, Mazi Kalenda, good evening. And I want to thank the River Goddess and the two other persons that have spoken before now. Thank you, good brother, for coming to talk about this. You know, if these things are not said, these guys might conclude that everything they are doing is being stomached by us, or they are dealing with fools who don't reason properly. But we have to come in and say one or two things. But you know, listening to you these hours, because I decided to take my time and listen to you, and you did a great job here. Number one, you see, it is at a point, this thing was annoying to me, very, very annoying. It is annoying because these guys are really making a mess of this movement. This is very destructive. It is embarrassing to the efforts of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and you and I, put together, every Biafran who wants freedom. You see, this nonsense these guys are doing is annoying. Another thing is that it's laughable. It's laughable in the sense that you watch a grown-up man and woman coming on the internet with an international figure to make a mess of themselves and whatever they believe in or wherever they're coming from. I say two things. Is annoying. It's annoying because these people are making a mess of the effort. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, Dr. Ngozi Orebeze, and you, Kelenna, and myself, legend, talking, and every other Biafran who has this dream to see the new nation called Biafra. Now, it is laughable because when you watch a woman acting as though she's on influence of drug, this thing not a drug. You know the actions of those people. They can't stand. Do you know what it means to stand on camera to grant interview? It is something that those days when you wish to go for interview now, for job interview, you are being trained. Your composure, your personal organization, your eye contact, the way you respond to questions, they give you credit. It is an added value to you. I don't know if I'm communicating here. And imagine a woman who is granting an international interview, cannot compose herself well, sit up well, organize herself, look up to the camera. That people, in fact, her dressing is zero. They go in our kitchen to make a mess of herself. And two, if you watch this program, you don't know who is anchoring the program. You don't know who is anchoring. You don't know if he's in Kiru or Van. And when you throw question to a man, you don't allow him to, before he introduces his answer, you cut him off. You don't allow him to answer any question. Everywhere is noisy. You don't know when Kiru is talking. You don't know when Van is talking. My brother, let me establish here. Van, even while Mazi Ekpa was here, I am not his follower. I follow my instinct. Do you know why? He is a noisemaker to me. Ugo 247 was with the cabinet with Mazi Ekpa and Ngozi Orebeze. I never followed him. Do you know why? He doesn't communicate to me. He doesn't have a language command. You understand what I mean, bro? You don't know if he has come to speak Igbo, Pidgin English, or English. He confuses his audience. If you are a broadcaster, there are many things you learn about all these things. Yes, we did some of these things in school. Do you remember those days when we in school we used to do debates? These are the things, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, good afternoon, I am here to present this. Those were the foundational training they gave us before we even went to school. You have to compose yourself, your ability to present points. Sometimes, Mazi Kelenna, I have been in a debate where we have a topic with less backup. Are you getting me? When somebody will tell you that a governor is stronger than a local government chairman, and imagine somebody that a local government chairman is stronger than a governor, you going to look up for a stronger point to contest with somebody whose point is free and easy to get. And imagine somebody who has this topic of a governor is stronger than a local government chairman. He has no research. He has done no research. But somebody who comes with a topic that a local government councillor is stronger than a governor, we go and make a research, dig deep, come out with a strong argument, composure, comportment, and before you know it, that person that has a topic that should have scored nothing come up to score higher than the person who has a good topic. I don't know if I'm communicating, bro.
Yes.
So this is one problem with these guys. They can't communicate. They are not composed. Do you know why? They are on the wrong path. They have lied enough that they don't know where to gather points again to back up their claims. And that is why all they are trying to do, bringing Mark Arnold, is just to think is business as usual. At the end of the day, bring money. You don't know what it means. You have to convince this man, convince your audience. And that was why somebody quickly said on the comment section that I am getting nothing. This is zero. And the idiot quickly echoed it to the person who is granting interview to him. Imagine that stupidity of Van Van Van. You see this guy. I saw this guy as a man that is wrapped in absolute curiosity. Van 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 is too inquisitive. He is just somebody who is looking for something at all costs to hold hand on, just to siphon people. What you said while you are doing this, because I followed you word to word, is true. Most of them are having their projects back in Nigeria, and once that project is completed, they will dust their hands off what we are doing. I want people who are with them to hear us very well. The information is right here. Maybe Sonny Abarawa must have finished his own. They were, and that is why if you see them, they know their secret, and they don't touch each other on that line. If not, they will expose themselves. And if you see this, their quarrel with Russia and all these things, there are things they cannot do. That is why they quickly act as though they are reconciling, because they can't afford to let some secret out. These are people. Now, let me establish again. Mazi Kelena, if you watch this woman movement, I want to say it again, if she can hear me. She acted as though she is on influence of alcohol or drug, because her movement, she was never stable. Now, two, there is a difference between a certificate lawyer and a barrister. I am not a barrister, but I know what I'm talking about. There are people who went to school, they read law, and they were given certificates in law. I don't know if it is BBL or whatever they call it. Then there are people who went to law school, they were called to bar. You know, they become solicitors, barristers and solicitors of whatever they call. So, you know, this using name to come and deceive us doesn't work anymore. The era when everybody wants to answer doctor and professor in Biafra movement for us to believe them doesn't work. It is even better that somebody with intelligence, though Mazin Namde Kanu say gago akwụkwọ, but ego akwụkwọ enwere formal and informal education. You cannot just have a formal education without informal education. As an Igbo person, I was taught in school. The two types of education are very important that will build you as a man, informal and formal. Now, you see some of these guys, you have a certificate and you know nothing. They call them educated illiterates. Imagine a barrister. You don't know how to respond to questions. You are not constructive. You are not constructive in your questions. If it was an organized people, that if this whatever, if they were organized, these are people that would have gone. You said it, my brother, but let me just in this comment conclude with it. Would have gone and pick up 5-6 questions and say, this is the questions we are going to ask. We pick up 1 or 2 reasonable questions from people we know. And again, you are asking a man to tell you about your father. You are telling Mark Arnold, an American, to tell you about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Isn't that stupidity, my brother? I want to conclude here. Like I said, it is annoying and it is laughable. But all I still pray is that God help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, legend. Ocham Master, greetings from here. Amaka Mele, grab the mic.
Amaka Mele Igbo, Amaka Mele Biafrans, Mazi Kelenna, onye eziokwu. Ndeworinne. Thank you for this wonderful topic, even though that you take in a segment by segment or section by section, because You know, if finish Yenka is in Egabia, I finish Yenka is in Egabia, all the very, very good because it gives more broad of understanding. Anyway, I thank you, legend. I greet you and I greet one of the river goddess and everybody that have spoken, those that will speak thereafter, and I greet everybody in the comment section, listeners as well. Thank you. Mazi Kelena, you see, I align myself with the what legend just his submission is almost exactly what I wanted to say. So I will just say one word. These people brought disgrace upon themselves. Vam 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 and that woman just disgraced themselves. That is the point. But it's saddened me because Biafra name is there. People have put a lot of intellectual have put intellectual collective effort to arrive where we are today. And these people will not just come and rubbish it. But however, it is good that they show their foolishness on the screen. It is okay for them. And I believe the man, they try to worship because this mentality of us, the people of color, sometimes is it can be very, very annoying when you look at any person that is of a white color, so-called, you will see your brothers and your sisters misbehaving, as if they are sitting with God. But that is by the way. I will just add up from what legend said. I would just ask or say to our government, US United States of Biafran government, you see, this is the second time this kind of a situation is happening. When the man in Nostra, his own happened that there's somebody what do you call his name, Ogenkere, ran to interview him, and again another one come. This type of a person, this kind of a person, at least let our government find a way. Let there be some people that will be finding a way to communicate with these people, this kind of people, to talk to the government instead of allowing these people, these non-entities, these frauds, these saboteurs to go there and misrepresent Biafra and Biafrans. That is where I would just, appeal to our government to always, find people who will be always looking for such people to interact with. Mazikelena, Biafrans, think about if this program, if this man did this program with Dr. Ngozo Rabeze, just think what it would have yielded. Or the way people that will watch it or people that view it will look at the Biafran project. But look at how these guys, how they misrepresented everything. But in any case, thank God that they showed their foolishness, and by God's grace, it will, we will recover the situation or rescue the situation by, find a way that government will talk to them. Thank you, Mazikelena. May God bless you. Continue in the way. And there's something that River God has said, though it is you that have the right to say, even if you don't give people your contact. And yes, I agree with you in totality because of the kind of mind and wickedness some black people can change. Even if you can say, okay, let the people like River Goddess or people like that, one or two of them can, gather hands, get a card, then you find a way that they will send it to you just for purpose of, in case of an urgency, maybe the government may need you to, just like that, they will just give you a signal. It will be nice. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Ocham Master. Or do you go greetings from here? Omakamele, grab the mic.
Okay. Very nice. Okay. Good afternoon, Kelinda, and all those who have spoken before me, and Biafra in the homeland. Our people in the homeland, we miss you all. It hungers us a lot to come back home, and that is why we are fighting this cause to come back to our father's house. I'm gonna tell, including myself and all that came from Bongo called Nigeria. When you travel abroad, overseas, and they ask you to retake exam or to go back to school, don't be angry. Do not be angry. This woman has fully confirmed the level of education that we got from Bongo. We just disgrace ourselves. We just clearly on YouTube. How many friends does this man have? The white man that interviewed you that might hook up to this? You don't know where all these things are going. Look at this woman grammar. When she came out, the first thing I said is, look at her dressing code. Even I work from home, but I can't even dress like that to work from home. Ordinary team meeting, with your co-workers, you dress well. So I take this to be a meeting, like a casual meeting, not like for a real purpose of what we're looking for. Maybe to satisfy their disturbance, because maybe this man might, have some leftover time and want to just use it to spend it on these individuals. Because, nobody will want to spend your precious time with people like that. Look at her composure. Nothing, no sign of somebody that entered a 4 works of school. I'm happy that she came out for this, because for me to even know her, because I always hear this the talking and the writing stuff, but now I know where to put her. I've seen her like all through. And then I keep asking my question, does this woman have kids? Are the kids living with her wherever she is? Or maybe she came and the kids are still back home and then she's fooling herself? Because this is just so ridiculous. She just proved herself. Dressing a woman of her age. Look at her dressing. Her dressing alone. And if Bam 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 is a human being with a human intelligence, you would have asked her to dress well. But all of them just said, look at, even Bam 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 dress well. Why would you allow a woman like that to come out for interview of such? So, and the man educated them, because they are not hearing what they want to hear. And that's why they were attacking the man somehow. Because the man says, even when Jesus was taken away, the apostles did not just hold their hand. No, they continued. And even in the same Bible that me and them hopefully read, That's how the master shared money to the servant and said, go do this, go do that, go do that. And one of them came back bearing fruits, more, showing things that he has done with their money. Them now, what are they going to present to Mazen Nandakalo or PM Simon Ekpa when he comes out? Just gossip? Just this? Too, like, when this thing started, I was almost shedding tears. But Kelena, you try and make it to be a little fun, and I kind of started laughing. But when they say Biafran, and then you imagine just my family alone, the caliber of people in my own family alone, and then these individuals are saying Biafrans, Biafrans, and them are showing, like, say that they are what we have. Too bad for disgracing herself, and shame on them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ojugo. You get us on greetings from here. Have the mic. You get us on. Can you hear me? VJ, Omakamale, grab the mic.
Kenenna, this is my first time coming on your program. I'll move up with that guy and I say go one bottle for the day.
What? Okay.
Remember?
Okay.
That guy and I say
Okay.
well, one bottle will wash you down.
Yes. Thank you.
My brother, this particular incident, I always tell our people should celebrate. This is a serious celebration because I remember when Mazen Simon Eba always say, after the declaration, the real war will come in place. Our people suppose to no champagne right now because we are actually removing the chaff from the wheat. This is what is going on. In every country, shadow their own, these things plays out. These people now, how about their last card? If for that woman, that woman, he looked like somebody who is under the influence of alcohol or drugs. I watched that stuff yesterday. I could not even go more than 5 minutes. I just cut off because Olukulu, very, very, very disgracing. I'm telling you. So people, I understand the mind and the heart of our people. Our people should put emotions on the side. All these things are prone to happen. It's supposed to happen. There is no two ways about it. This Ajarere, the guy, I always tell people that guy ain't shame. Okay, my hebo, one single shame. Ajarere enwere. The only thing Ajarere is looking up to is money. He doesn't care. So my own suggestion or my own conclusion at this whole thing, our people shouldn't worry too much. This activist man from the US, do you think that he doesn't know the real Biafrans, the real United States of Biafra? He knows. But from what I understand from the man, his doors are open for anybody. His doors are not closed. If you have a valid point, come in. If you have something reasonable, come in. This is how real people interact or talk to people. Or say that there is nothing, you don't have anything to offer, man, fuck off. No, it doesn't work like that. His doors are open. He knows. He has internet. He has a laptop. He knows people. He has access to archives. For that man to know Mazi Simon Ekpa and the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what makes you think that he is not aware that Biafra was redeclared in Lati, Finland? He doesn't know these people. He just wants to Or just to be a listening ear. No matter what they what do you know what happened behind closed doors? Emma, how much letters, email those nincompoos there, yeah? You can't just invite him on a live program. Or just yeah. You have to present something to him. And when from the beginning, the man was disappointed. He was even asking himself, why am I even here with this whole bunch of nincompoos? But nevertheless, aim at that now, as this thing is happening, these guys, even though that's what they did wasn't right, but they kind of make people to go and research about Biafra the more. Don't get it twisted. In every stupidity, there was something useful. That word Biafra, some people haven't even heard of it. They will go and type it on the internet. That is the only good thing that came out from those nincompoos. That is the only thing. Every other thing is a compound disgrace to themselves. So Biafrans shouldn't overstress themselves. People should start doing the normal thing they have been doing, donating to the RIA's United States of Biafra redeclared. Do your things. Whatever the government gives an order, Biafrans should obey to the order. It is for everyone's good. We have a website. Every information that you hear out there, when you go to the United States of Biafran website, if that information is not there, you have to retrieve your steps and reconfirm where the source is coming from. Every Biafra has a mission almost all over the world. So leave those people. And an idiot among reasonable people. All the idiots will go and tell the story of the reasonable people, how they achieved the whole thing. But the idiot will not tell you the stupid role he played. All idiots na call the akoko. So my own take, Biafran shouldn't overstress themselves in this whole thing. I'm just telling you. I'm telling since this redeclaration, I've been happy because the idiots are coming out in full force. As they are coming out, because at this point we are. If anybody is telling you that he doesn't know the channel to go or the channel to follow, my brother, you don't have to preach anything to that person. The only thing you need to that person, na dondo, witness Biafra. That's all. I rest my case.
Thank you, PJ. You get a song. Can you grab the mic now?
Okay, Mazi, good evening, sir.
The one, go ahead.
I am greeting you from the land of Igede Direct. On behalf of indigenous of Igede, under our Dokan State of the United States of Biafra, I bring the greeting to all of you, down to our DPM and all the cabinet, and every genuine Biafran that are here listening, and both those of them making wonderful submission. You know, Mazi, I want to go straight to the point. You know, sometimes those people that we are seeing today gathered together in the name of granting interview. There was a statement you make. He said some are good in writing, some are no good in spoken. That is exactly one of it. When you hear this Nkiru writing on the Twitter, you will think that she has something upstairs. But today, it was only her write-up that used to make it look as if she has something. But today, now you can see now that she has nothing. Everybody can see that Nkiru does not have anything. Mazi Kelena used to say, there are those who are very good in writing, but in the public, they are not good in speaking. That is exactly. They are always good. They are always fond of saying, "Follow who no road, follow who no road." And that was exactly what happened in the time of Oge Nkere, when this man in Canada, I don't know the name, sound like a thunder. That man, the name sound like a thunder. Instead of Oge Nkere, we give that man the whole details of what is happening to Biafran. He was busy chewing his mouth. What the man was expecting to hear from him, Ogechukwu Nkere was not presenting those things. Instead, it was the man that turned around educating Oge Nkere, and was exactly what happened between these morons that gathered together in the name of granting Mike Arnold interview. That is exactly the thing that happened to them. My dear people, you cannot give what you don't have. You can only give what you have. The thought is always easy when you see people coming out, everybody, they want to become leader, they want to lead everybody. Everybody are not meant to lead. Everybody are not meant to lead. No matter how you have the spirit of envy and jealousy, don't allow those things to push you to the level whereby you want to enter into the position that you are not called for. Some of leadership being given right from birth. Leadership is not by education. There are people today that are handling leadership position without even attend any school, and they are handling it very, very perfectly well. So what you are seeing happening today, I am very much happy. Do you know why? He who the gods want to destroy, he will first of all make him or her to be mad. That is exactly what you are seeing happening today. And that is why I always tell people that ihe Chukwu kwuru n'okwu ya, ihe o kwuru ga-eme. Ihe Chukwu dere n'odewo ya, ihe o dere ga-eme. Ihe Chukwu kwuru n'okwu ya, ihe o kwuru ga-eme. Ihe Chukwu dere n'odewo ya, ihe o dere ga-eme. Ihe Chukwu kwuru n'okwu ya, ihe o kwuru ga-eme. Ihe Chukwu dere n'odewo ya, ihe o kwuru ga-eme. Otu ọbụla sọrọ ndị iro ha ma enwezi ya. Okwu Chineke dịkwa ike. Onye ọbụla fịọrọ ha ma enwezi ya n'ụwa. Ihe bụzi uche Chineke ga-emerịrị. Ihe m na-asị, ihe Chukwu dere n'odewo ya, ihe o dere ga-eme. Ihe Chukwu kwuru n'okwu ya, ihe o kwuru ga-eme. One thing is that wherever the vultures are congregated, Chukwu Okike Abiama has outnumbered all of them. One thing our people must understand is that this Biafra liberation that you are seeing today, my dear, we are at the conclusion. So whatever you are seeing happening today are bound to happen, because when you also see things like that, observe that these are the signs of the coming of the Biafra, of the establishment and the reality of the United States of Biafra. If all these signs, all manner of signs, have not been showcased, have not been advertised, have not been displayed, you won't know that the signs of the coming of the realization of the United States of Biafra is fast approaching. So all these things will happen, and that is a sign that the United States of Biafra has come. So thank you very, very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Get us on. Mazi Greg, Ishigatarazu, grab the mic.
Yes, my brother Kalena. Good evening, Amaka Mekale.
Hello, sir.
My greetings, all Biafrans and friends of Biafra, both home and abroad. We thank God again for today. It's a great day, and we bless the name of the man that gave us life. Thanking him for the opportunity, for the mercy and his kindness to us and all he has been doing. So thank him for our leader as well, Mazin Namdekano. We thank him for our patient, my son Moneka. We thank him for Dr. Ngozi Obeze and all the cabinet and all the media. May God continue to guide and protect and direct you. God is your strength. We bless his holy name. Yes, I come in because of one or two things, because everybody has spoken well, talking about all their disgrace. But one thing I want us to understand is this. The disgrace is not just disgrace to Van and the disgrace is to all the Biafrans, disgrace is to all the Igbos. Because when you call them Biafrans and they call them the Igbos. So that is why everybody tries to be a good ambassador wherever he is and whatever he's doing. So you bring good name home. That is a good teaching a father or a good mother will give to his or her children. Because as na onye nwanne ya na aya ara, nwanne onye na-agba aja egwu n'ime n'ahịa, ụkọ iko ya na-akọ family ya na ụmụnne ya. That is all him. So disgrace haven't just to Van, disgrace to us all. Because in so that is why we must always comfort ourselves in a good manner and do the thing that we're supposed to do right. Yeah. In the first place, I come in because of what my brother said. I think Ocean Master. What he said is where I want to touch. He said that please let our government try everything they can do. At any time such a people is surfaced, let there be good people who will block this kind of evil people not to reach them. And we should not take anybody for granted. The Western world respects any person that is outspoken. Like this Mike Arnold, anytime a white person, any foreigner from any Western world come out to talk about our people, it doesn't matter how small or how big that person is. We must follow him up. We don't give him a chance because he always fall into the wrong hands. And those things are delays as well. It's not doesn't present a good thing. You can't be here celebrating. Not to how many of them? Only two of them. But when you're talking about Biafra, you're talking about 80 million people you're bringing disgrace to. So they should create a kind of monitor such a people who will represent us every time and anytime this kind of people come, you try to reach them out. Because I cried about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when McArnold hosted Space. We were not Space. That's where Van got his contact and invited him that he write him that he wants him to come and appear in Space. So, and we didn't have any strong person who is following this man up that is in the government. For me, that is not good. So we have to follow this kind of people up. So in that their space, this man was asking questions, and the same question he asked in this programming that he hosted with Van, and they could not answer that question. He said, "What would your Biafra look like? Can you tell me if they tell you that you are going to have freedom tomorrow? What would that your country looks like?" If you go back to that program and look at that program, both of them, none of them could answer that question. The same question he asked in his space. Even that day, Van invited. Till today, they did not answer that question. So that was when immediately after that space, I was calling some friends. So let us send this man the Constitution of the United States of Biafra. Let him know the level we have gone and the right people. I volunteered myself. I said, even what do you call it? That constitution, I can sponsor that constitution, this thing, but I don't know how to get it to that man. So if he's willing, I called my brother Chinos. You see, so let this constitution get to that man before he go to that program to bang. So that is the area we will always try to make sure that we got this area very well. Anytime this kind of people come out, let us not take them for granted. The people in the Western world, they are afraid of their people. Anyone that can go out to speak out for any group. This kind of people, America don't joke with them. The Westerners, the Europeans don't joke with this kind of people because they know they can go to any level if they really want to fight. So this kind of people, let our government never give space to this kind of people. They are very outspoken, and their people is always listening to them, and their countries don't give anything for granted. It doesn't matter how small or how big. As long as that person can speak out, they don't take those kind of people for granted. So that is what I say. Let you come in here and add my voice to the government to stand up and follow this kind of people up. Let them create a department that can monitor this kind of people and follow them up. That is my contribution. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Now, call I am man for 1 hour. It is well. Amaka Mary will. Amaka Mary all of us of truth. Amaka Mary also for us of truth. May your day break. May God show us kindness. I knew whenever I need it. I need to do it by a zibo moro. Andy Johnson, Amaka Mary. Andy, good evening, bro. Just came in now. Oh, everything is going on well. Please, I applied for my ID since over a month. Now, I have not gotten update. Is it update about the capturing? The capturing happened some weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the capturing date, again, I will not hesitate to highlight it here. After applying or registration, then the next thing will capturing. Then after capturing, the next thing will zero. So I don't think I go for capture. I don't think I go for capture. So just not around. Bobona found a capture. I'm a post. I remember posting last time. So other Hannah for capture. I will post it. I am happily man apply. Yes, for capturing. Okay. Let me go capture. Maybe busy there. But I go capture. I think some weeks back. So the next one that is coming, do well and what take the capture. Only one watch it happened last Friday. Okay, last Friday when they captured it. Because I remember now from very close. Yes, I remember. Okay, last week. I'm not, but I know. All the very close. So Andy Johnson, stay on lookout. What is the son of you? More than Dr. Ngozi I will share it again. Thank you so very much. Amaka Mele Ibo. I stay blessed. Bye for now. Yes, for sure. Eddie Johnson. I will do that, definitely. I will do that. For another link. Or whatever the end is handled of the person of Marcos every day. So more than I will post the link here. Thank you so very much. And bye for now.